Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to this daily energy check-in. Let's go into the reading right away. I already have my archetypes deck with me. We'll go for it again today. I have the good tarot for the main read, and of course I have my after tarot for the clarifiers. No special messages today, announcements, just business as usual. I'm preparing for the new installment of Mindfully Awake, and next episode is going to air tomorrow night at 6 p.m. EST. There will definitely be some information on this channel. It's not launching on this channel, but there will be information and the link on where you can catch that episode, as well as you can use the same link afterwards, after it's aired, to watch. And it is going to be around nutrition this time. So I've actually spent, there we go, there is an announcement, I guess. I've spent the last couple of years diving deeper into balanced nutrition, microbiome, vitamins, nutrients, how they get absorbed by the body, how is the nutrition connected with our spiritual health and wellness. So going beyond the physical, actually. Also, what adjustments would be needed depending on your activity level, things like that. There's a lot to unpack there, and as always, won't be able to do everything in that 1 hour episode, but I wanted to give you some specifics. So it's not just general, eat a lot of veg and grains and colors, and stay away from junk food. That's pretty obvious, but I wanted to dive deeper and explain, maybe kind of advocate more for why it's so important to be conscious of what you eat, regardless of what kind of diet you choose. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. If you're interested, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel for sure if you're not subscribed yet. And yeah, there we go, that's the announcement. Okay, so now back to our reading. Let's get an oracle message for each of the twins. And the first message is going to be for Divine Feminines watching. And it's the Sustainer. Wow, number 24. The Sustainer. I love the colors. It's like the top chakras, throat, third eye, and the crown. I need to read this because I'm not even sure I fully understand what they meant here. So that's why. The Sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes tending to the tasks of life. So it's like the peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouse sweetly fed. We're just talking about nutrition. The Sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful task. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the Sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the Sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The Sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. Yeah, so this is basically a quick check on, is this the place to be, right? And sometimes we really need sustenance. We need that nourishment, right? And maybe this is to celebrate, to acknowledge, and to celebrate the the work that you do, or maybe people around you do, to do this sustenance, to do those activities that we were just reading about. Or maybe it's actually time to let go and move on with something else. And you've been just neglecting the signs around you, that it's become too exhausting, or you have no chance to recuperate your energy, something like that, right? And maybe you need to use your voice, the throat chakra, to be able to speak up and make some changes. Not necessarily leave this relationship or setup or whatever this is, but at least introduce changes where you become, where I don't know if it's the right word to say you're gonna be a sustainer for yourself, but you know what I mean, right? Like where you can sustain your own health, not just take care of people around you. Okay. By the way, this scarf, yeah, I wanted to mention this scarf is my souvenir from Molokai Island in Hawaii. This is one of the wild islands. It's one of the least explored and inhabited and cultivated and commercialized. Yeah, it's got such a rich character and history and more of that wild raw nature for sure. And I actually met an artist who makes these scarves. Like she paints it, they're hand painted. It was at the Hula Festival actually on the Big Island, but I was like, yeah, I want to have a memory from Molokai. I have one, to be completely honest, I have one more memory. I have a t-shirt from Molokai, but it's not as intricate, it's not as special as this scarf. I love it. So sharing a little bit of that Hawaiian heritage with you today. Wow, look at this, the comic. I've never seen this. This is number 26. Never seen this card. Wow, this is so interesting. Let's see, what do the masculines need to know about the comic archetype? The Joker, the Clown, the Fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails the world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there's always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may even use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within this comic, the comic is usually the sage or the magician working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep vision in our world, one pun at a time. I love this. Heals the deep division in our world. Isn't that something that we all need today? Maybe in different places in the world for different reasons, but still, it's such a relevant topic. Oh my God. Am I losing my scarf? Let's see what's happening here. All right, let's see what we have with tarot. I think I'm doing a masculine reading tomorrow. Let's see how the inspiration guides me. Bottom of the deck, look at that. We keep seeing Five of Cups. It's still there. There's still some regret. There's still some sadness. And I feel more than anything, at least today in this conversation, that it is a lot about actually like missing the opportunity to do something. And in tarot, actually, it's more of Four of Cups. But it's like a third conditional, where you know it's not gonna happen anymore. The third conditional in the English language is talking about the past. If I had known da-da-da-da, I would have da-da-da-da. But I didn't know, it didn't happen, it's the past. I can't really do anything with that situation anymore. I can only reminisce and ruminate. So it's kind of like that, you know? It's like the step where, yeah, and I don't think I'll ever have another go with this again. That kind of sadness, I guess. Let's see. The clarifiers, we have the Devil, yeah. So it is an illusion, really, that you've lost that special opportunity and, you know, made some bad decisions that will impact your life in a negative way now. You never know what's in store for you. And remember that the biggest faith and the biggest belief that we are asked to have is that there's always a divine plan. And that this plan is definitely better than the one you have. And not to mention that a lot of times we do go through some setbacks, or it seems like we've lost a certain opportunity because we're supposed to learn something from that exact experience. And yes, we do have free will, so I'm not saying that we don't have any responsibility in this, right? But what I'm saying is that A, you cannot change the past. B, there was definitely a reason for that, even that the missed opportunity scenario had its value. And 3, believe that if it's meant to be for you, there will be another chance. And that's the biggest piece, that the biggest work that you can do, like in the now, in terms of like, what can I do now, right? Or like, how do I bring that about, or something like that. Feminines, your energy is 9 of Earth, clarified by the Judgment. And I like that in this 9 of Earth, 9 of Pentacles, basically, the figure has like a praying pose, right? So they receive, they ask and they receive. The Judgment is the response, is the answer, right, to your prayers. It's the call. It's finally when you've been waiting and wanting and asking and you receive the answer. The question is, what are you asking for? Are you asking for something? What is it specifically? If it's fine, if you're clear on what is it actually that you want, or if you feel like you've quote unquote missed an opportunity, you understand what was so valuable about that opportunity. Try to ask for that value, not for the specific same experience that you had. Masculines, you have the Messenger of Air and Page of Wands. So basically it's Page of Swords and Page of Wands. Pages. Yeah, so masculines want to have communication to either receive communication or to go and talk to someone, but receive some guidance on what they're supposed to do next. It's a little bit of a kind of turned off, shut off energy where it's like, I don't even know where the truth is anymore. I don't know, like I've lost my inner compass. That kind of momentary confusion. And I feel like the karmic energy, divine masculines, and the comic doesn't, of course, need to be an actual comic, because a lot of people are going to say, I am nowhere near being a comic, right? This is an archetype. Basically, this is about having a light attitude to the situation and having a bit of laugh with it, right? Like, you know, finding ways to find some joy and fun in your current situation, even with the lack of knowledge. It's almost like you can't go wrong if you don't really know what is this for. Just explore, just be a student. Pages are students. And both of these are masculine energies, by the way. So you get to exercise, to practice, to explore, and to deepen your connection to your masculine self, right? With the thoughts and the action, right? It's like your alley. It's your specialty, right? But you are in a situation where you don't necessarily know what to do or say because it's new, right? But this is where you get to learn and you need to explore. It's not necessarily just gonna arrive to you on a silver platter, but you may get some guidance if you ask for it. But part of the experience right now is to see what your intuitive guidance will tell you to do. Sorry, I just needed to pick up the card. Okay, additional question for today. Justice, clarified by 8 of Pentacles. Where do we need more balance and cooperation with each other or with others, right? How can we bring more harmony and balance with the help of other people? For, it could be the twin, of course, or it could be somebody else. For the feminine, you have 6 of Water, clarified by Wheel of Fortune. This is, yes, this brings back a little bit of childhood vibes, but also, again, in this deck, it's a lot about just connecting to the guides, if anything. It's almost like remembering how easy it was to connect to the higher power when you were a little kid, because you didn't overthink it. You didn't put too much weight on it, too much responsibility on how it's gonna go. It was just kind of having fun. It was like, oh yeah, of course. Like, maybe even connecting with elementals, with guides, or it could be God, of course, whatever your story is. It's like that light-hearted energy where it's all a bit of a play, right? And you shouldn't take, let's call it destiny, too seriously, right? Or whatever is being brought to onto your path, because clearly we can usually identify certain events, certain people, places, and situations that we didn't orchestrate, that is happening in front of us for us to initiate something, right? And that's where the curiosity should arise. Like, and feel free to call onto people around you who will be able to share that notion. You know, if you're out of creative ideas or fun ideas, then call on someone who will help you do that. You're not alone in this. For the masculines, we see 10 of Earth clarified by King of Swords. So masculines are strategizing on how to build their abundance, right? And that's where they can use some support, some help from trusted allies, let's call them that way. So see masculine where your strategy can and should include other people, subject matter experts, maybe just friends who can help carry the burden, who can back you up for, I don't know, maybe you're starting a business, but there could be days when you're just out of commission because you're off sick, or you just need to urgently take some time off and take care of your kids. I don't know, something else maybe, right? So make sure that you have that kind of backup plan with somebody that you can trust. It's very important. Feminines, how are they seeing the connection? Well, there's 4 water, clarified by 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, feminines can see how they have neglected certain orchestrated situation in the past that maybe they've manifested themselves, but then when they came, they either didn't believe it or they just all around didn't notice it, right? So there is some sadness there of like, wow, like maybe I'm good at requesting or like setting myself up for success, but then when the universe starts turning the wheel and bringing me what I ask for, I don't always have the eyes to see that. And that includes the situation with the masculine, by the way. Don't overthink it. It's not about that. And definitely find some emotional closure for yourself. If you're thinking of a specific situation, that for that specific situation. It's important to let it go so that you continue being more curious, observing more, listening to yourself and your intuition, maybe using a tool like cards or your meditation time to get more insight so you don't miss similar kind of chances in the future. Masculines, you have 6 of Fire clarified by 8 of Swords. So yeah, masculines are thinking that so many times in their life they've been worried that, they actually were excited about a certain success in the relationship with the feminine energy, and they felt like they won a jackpot, and then everybody was telling them that, reflecting that storyline, only to find out with time that it was all a mirage. It was like a vision that wasn't real, because deep down they were struggling, they were suffering, right? So masculines are now reshaping their vision and almost learning from scratch of what that fairy tale would look like, would sound like, so they can not only recognize it when it already happened, but they can actually go towards that picture, that version of reality, and they don't have regrets when they just kind of go along with everything, and then down the line it turns out that it's not the story that they wanted and it doesn't make them happy at all. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and until next time,